Hi there, my name is Charlie, and I'm here to tell you all about VisionCircles and VisionExchange. VisionExchange is a social network that provides space for its members to dialogue about the ideals and means of successful living. VisionCircles is a method of dialogue that uses rational self-reflection to discover the practical way to realize human ideals. Generally speaking, people strive to be successful. We want to have rewarding careers, happy marriages, and joyful families. We also wish for our institutions to measure up to the ideals of excellence and integrity. This is true for any institution, whether it be political, economic, religious, educational, medical, or legal. Looking at the world, though, we are fully aware of the gap between where things are at now and the ideal of what our world could be like. This idea of a mismatch or incongruence between our lives as they are and as they could be formed the foundation of client-centered counseling founded by Carl Rogers. The research on client-centered counseling has shown that when people engage in the process of personal and interpersonal dialogue to move themselves toward the realization of their ideal self, they are happier, more productive, and more creative. VisionExchange widens the philosophy of client-centered counseling to include not only moving toward the realization of the ideal self, but moving toward the realization of our career ideals, our family ideals, our marriage ideals, and our institutional ideals. But how to do this? The research and the tradition of human experience, going all the way back to Socrates, confirm that personal and interpersonal dialogue fires up our potential to do clear, effective, and creative thinking. VisionExchange provides a means for its members to participate in open dialogues on a wide range of concerns including economic, political, interreligious, interracial, intercultural, and more. Participants can create groups of friends and colleagues to dialogue on matters pertaining to personal and professional growth. Organizations such as businesses, churches, schools, professional societies, and social groups can use VisionExchange to promote dialogue about such things as their philosophy, mission statements, goals, strategies to improve communication, ways to raise morale, and other growth-related concerns. For VisionExchange, dialogue means 1. To use our power of rational self-reflection to face our problems squarely without bias. 2. To describe accurately our concerns, and 3. To search for practical ways to transform our ideals into creative actions. VisionCircles is the choice method for dialoguing on VisionExchange, so let's see how it can work for you. For this, let me introduce Jack to you.
Hello everyone.
Now Jack, I understand that you feel somewhat stuck in your career right now.
Yes, that's right. It's actually kind of frustrating.
I bet it is. Well, let's see if we can make a little more sense of the situation by using VisionCircles. Thanks for volunteering for this.
You bet.
All right then, let's start by visualizing. These 4 circles represent the 4 elements of your dialogue. Circle 1 includes your self-talk about the situation. So Jack, what are some of your thoughts on being stuck in your career?
Well, I don't know really.
Go on, give it a try.
Okay. I guess I'm getting bored with my job. I feel like I need to make a move.
Good. What else?
I feel like I need to be more challenged. I'm not really growing in my career. So I'm frustrated. I'm always complaining. What to do? I guess I need to be doing something more creative. And I need to be working with more lively people.
That's a good start, Jack. You've brought up some very good concerns. Let's note them down and move on to the next step. Now in Circle 2, we'll deal with your behavioral, emotional, and mental responses to the concerns which you just revealed in your self-talk in Circle 1.
I don't think I understand. What do you mean?
Well, what I mean is, what feelings do you have about these things? What are you doing as you react to those feelings?
Oh, I see. Well, I guess I feel unhappy because my career is stalled.
Aha! What else? What do you usually do when you feel unhappy?
Well, usually I get pretty negative and complain. Then the more I complain, the more frustrated I feel.
All right. That's a pretty good insight there, Jack.
You think so?
Absolutely. This gives us plenty to work off of. Let me show you. Circle 3 represents all of the hidden ideals you pointed out in Circle 1. Let's go back to that. Here, see? You said you wanted to do something more creative. So that is one of your ideals.
Right. And I suppose that working with lively people is another.
That's right. Cooperating with like-minded people is definitely something you strive for, as is your wish to achieve greater things.
So I guess the issue at hand is, how am I going to change what I do and think in Circle 2 so that I can move toward experiencing my ideals and goals in Circle 3, right?
Yep, that's just it.
So what about the fourth circle then?
Circle 4 represents the range of your tendencies.
My tendencies?
Yeah, everyone experiences certain tendencies when facing a problem. That is to say, you tend to do and think certain things. We will use the fourth circle to classify the tendencies you already have and then see if we can come up with some changes in your tendencies. This will then lead us to help you change your behaviors and experience your ideals.
I'm game, but I think I need some help for this.
Don't worry, Jack. It's actually much simpler than it sounds. There are irrational, rational, and more than rational tendencies. Say, for example, you feel confused about what to do. That is an irrational tendency.
Okay, but how about if I'm aware of what is important to me in my career? If I have a vision of my ideals, then I'm not confused, right?
That's right, Jack. Being aware of what is important to you and having a vision of your ideals are both more than rational tendencies. What else? Let's see. We talked about complaining. What kind of a tendency is that, you would say?
Probably irrational, right?
Correct. Good. Now if we try to take this particular irrational tendency and turn it into something that will actually help you get to your ideal, then we could say that instead of complaining, you need to...
I need to think clearly to come up with a practical way to reach my ideals.
Yes, good job. That's a rational tendency. Beyond that, thinking freely, fluidly, and creatively to come up with an actual plan would be the next more than rational step.
Aha, I see. So vision circles will not actually spell out a plan for me, but rather help me realize that I do need a plan. Then it can help me to sort out what I am doing now and figure out ways to change my actions for the future.
And that's all there is to it.
Well, that's easier said than done. I'm not sure if I'll actually remember all of the steps you helped me with. Isn't there an easier way to remember what we did here?
You know, I'm glad you asked, Jack, because there is. Here at Vision Circles, we call it the Oscar method. The acronym OSCAR stands for the 5 steps of the Oscar method, which can guide you in making an effective plan inspired by your ideals. O stands for observing what is going on in all the circles so that I can label my emotions, behaviors, ways of thinking, ideals, and tendencies. S stands for sorting out the positive from the negatives in each circle to find out what I need to change. In circles 1 and 2, I need to get rid of my self-defeating behaviors, irrational ways of thinking, and the negative emotions that are sapping my energies. C stands for connecting my vision of my career ideals in Circle 3 to clear practical ideas that I will use in Circle 2 to change my situation in Circle 1. I will discover these practical ideas by doing creative thinking. I need to stay connected to my rational tendencies of thinking orderly and my more than rational tendencies of vision so that I can do my best thinking. A stands for acting on the new practical concepts by putting together a plan. R stands for rating the results of my plan to see if I experience the outcomes that I expected. This is a very important point because unless we evaluate the plan we've made and actions that we've carried out accordingly, there is no way to adjust what we'll do in the future.
Wow. Now that is something I'll actually be able to remember, I think. Oscar.
Yep, it's a good habit to get into, and I believe that you'll find it overall really helpful when dealing with issues of all sorts.
Thanks, Charlie. I've already got some great ideas for what I'm going to do about my career.
That's great, Jack. I'm glad you found our time together productive, and I hope we'll get to see you again on VisionExchange.net, our social network where you can create groups and dialogue with others in the spirit of Vision Circles.
All right, yeah. I'll be sure to do that. Thanks for having me today.
You're welcome, Jack. I hope that you also enjoyed our little video. To get a fuller understanding of the Oscar method and how it relates to career advancement, please visit this link on our website. We hope that the Oscar method will prime the pump of your enthusiasm to engage in dialogue and to think creatively. Thanks for joining us today.